everybody, welcome to the channel for new battle report. This is the final of Erkenok International. We are playing against Team Spain. So basically until now they won every round with a good margin. They did very good performance until now. Much better than us actually. We had a more bumpy road. It was much harder for us, but we were able to qualify each round and to come to the final. So really happy to get that very interesting round against Team Spain, and I'm more than happy because I'm paired against my friend Lucas from the channel Erkenok. He is basically the organizer of this tournament, so thanks again to him for the organization of this amazing tournament. Has been really a blast, very enjoyable, and has been lasting a while. I mean, we started like 2 months ago, so that was quite funny to follow. And yeah, really happy to play against him. I think we never played together before, so really happy to play against him. He's an amazing guy, so that was surely going to be a very interesting game. Let's start. My list for this final game is this one. We switched the list before the round, so they had also a chance to update their list. We did the same. That's, for me, in my perspective, usually a good thing to do when a tournament lasts more than a month. I mean, your list might evolve and it would be a bit sad to play with old list. Wouldn't bring much. So I have a Master Pyro with channel 4, can BSB God Speaker, 4 up, big block of tribesmen, 3 small units to act as a potential chaff for me. Then I have this unit will be the bunker for the mage, obviously. Then I have the unit of Murkvet's Halberd, 2 units of Tusker Cav, 2 Thunder Cannon and the Frost Mammoth. So that's the new thing for me, to try the double cannon and see how that goes. My opponent, he had a big miser of Sugulag, who is Master Vocation, Mirrored Scale, Segmented Shell, so very expensive. Then his core is 2 units of Sukubai, 1 unit of Myrmidon, 2 very strong units of Claw Fiends with Incendiary Ichor, which basically give him what he was missing against me, which is almost being immune to my Pyro spell, which was the key tool for me to deal with the Fiends that are so good in the matchup. +1 to hit, +1 to wound against all my army except the Frost Mammoth. Agility 6, movement 9 swift, so he strikes before me, even under the Frosty, so that's very complicated for me to manage those Fiends. Then he had 3 Chariots, who are also strong in the matchup. Titan Slayer Chariot with Segmental Shell, 4 Veil Serpent, who have the very good random move in combination with the Master Evocation. That's a very nasty magic phase. And 3 Bloodfly Standard Bearer, which is another scoring unit for his list. We played Secret Target on Cornerstone, and I had Enslave and Ransom. He had Master of the Veil, so I need to kill unit. You need to have a unit with a channel within 9 of the center of the battlefield at the end of the battle, and avoid that I have 1. And with my spell, I think I didn't take Flaming Sword, and the rest should be accurate, and he had 2-time Hereditary as well. Matchup analysis, yeah. MMU, MSU, multi-resource, demon list, so he has a lot of units on the table, he's able to play wide. The Fiends are obviously very strong in the matchup. They are not countered by Pyromancy or the Frost Mammoth. I think the primary is rather to his advantage because he has more resources and he's stronger when he plays wide than me. And I think that's also under consideration of the point that I wrote under yellow. Starting for me, I understand that playing second would be better on Secure Target, obviously, and also adaptive deployment is quite nice. But I think for me, due to the fact that the matchup is quite complicated, I would prefer to start to do range damage. Start to shoot cannon before he does evocation and random move. So I want to start this game, and I know that's going to make my battle for the primary harder. Secondary, possible, but there should be fights. And Demon Legend, yeah, should be doable to get the channel and push me away from the center. Quite interesting combination because you need to play for the center and we play also for the flanks, but not with the same units. Path to victory, yeah, for me not to get bullied by the Fiends and Chariot, obviously. Use my range damage to reduce his unit and get favorable matchup in combat. For him is to play quite aggressive and wide, put me under pressure, and obviously use his amazing magic on my cannon to reduce the volatility of the matchup with my cannon against Sugulag. Pyromancy, first target for me will be the Dangerous Chariot, and yeah, I think the dicey cannon shot against Sugulag can do something Overall, I put 8 in the matrix. I felt the matchup is negative for me, mainly due to the primary, the fiends. I have some answers. I have 2 cannon against Sugalag. I have pyromancy against demon, so it's not that bad. I have a lot of health point on the battlefield, but still, it's a dangerous matchup and it should have the edge. Okay, deployment wise, I made some preparation before the battle, and it's interesting. I had exactly thought about that deployment. So basically, he won the role, elected to be defender. I dropped for first turn. Obviously, I went with a strong left. As you can see, Tusker Cav, Merc Vets, Chaffing Tribesman, the Mage Bunker, Frost Mammoth behind, the big block in the middle has to be there because of Cornerstone. His Clofin had to be in the middle due to Cornerstone. So at least that's a good news for me. I think it would have been harder for me if they go on the flank. So I prefer them in the middle facing my main unit of Tribesmen that can hold against them. The 2 cannon in the middle, I knew that he was going to hide the Sugalag here behind, but I like the idea of having the cannon to zone. I can still shoot other target turn 1, and then if he moves out, he's going to be facing my cannon. And on the far right, I only put Bruiser and Tusker Cav as little as possible to play for this point. His counter deployment, he went with Succubi Clofins and the Chariot to make a 3 against 2 and try to win the flank, and the rest basically facing me, as you can see. Let's move on to my one. I push up the board, move a bit back on the right. I didn't want him to be able to hide a bit and then jump, and in the meantime blast my Tusker, so that's why I move a bit away. I wanted also to do damage on the Chariot. I felt when you look at the macro situation, if I'm able to kill those Chariots quite quickly, and I'm within 24 here, and I have a lot of dice, 4 channel plus 1 dice free and 1 dice from demon, so that's 6 dice free every turn. I mean, that can go quick. Cage of Amber, Fireball, Pyroflow, that can go quick. And if I get rid of them, then we might be in a situation where Sugalag, if he pushed towards here, might have to push that way to secure this point, because Tusker and Bruiser might be able to win against those 2 small units. So that could be interesting and will be definitely my plan. The left flank here, I push towards the point. Magic Phase, I get Cage of Amber on the Chariot, do only 1 wound, but that's fine. And the Fireball, unfortunately, does a wound. We roll 2 wounds for up. Hope for a bit more, but that's still 2 wounds on the Chariot. Cannon, one of them shoot the Fiends on, didn't move long range, but he's solid, so that's a 4+, I think. I kill one, and the other one shoot the Chariot, but he made a ward save. I was in short range. He's turn 1, he moves out with Sugalag. Despite the cage, he pushed forward the Chariot, suffer 4 wounds this time from the cage, so that was nice. Push with the Fiends in the middle as well. Okay, interesting. A Magic Phase, he gets Touch of the Reaper on the cannon, managed to do 1 wound. And then he thinks a bit about it. He's like, do I want to throw 5 dice on the cannon for Soul Blight or not? I had, I think, 6 dice to dispel. And he threw 5 dice. I see the dice. 6, 6, 5, 5, 4. I cannot dispel it. It doesn't miscast, but as you can see, that was really, really close, because if one of those numbers move from a 4 to a 5 or from a 5 to a 6, boom, that's no more Sugalag. And I think that would have been a completely different game if Sugalag blows himself up turn 1. Because then, no more magic, that's a very strong piece on the matchup, a lot of points. I mean, that changed a lot, so that's huge, huge. And with that Soul Blight going through my dice, he managed to do 2 wounds to my Thunder Cannon. And that's a good start for him. At least he didn't kill it, but that was a risk. That was a bit of a risk. Even that not likely, but not that likely. But at the same time, if he loses Sugalag, I think here that could be potentially, that could be the game. I mean, that could be huge. My turn 2. Push a bit forward, readjust my cannon, going to shoot at Sugalag. I wanted to go out of the Chariot range. Don't want him to take any charge, so I had to move a bit. I think the 2 cannon will be on 5+ on Sugalag. I bait him with my Bruiser here to charge and set up some counters. Left flank, move slightly around, Magic Phase. I get very bad Magic Phase this time. I have a lot of dice, but I go Pyroflow, first Cage of Amber on the Chariot. Thinking, okay, the Chariot, I mean, they have only 6 wounds left. If I deal with them, remember, right flank could be good for me. So I go Cage of Amber, 4 dice. 2, 2, 2, 3. No fizzle. Didn't cast. Oh, that's the worst could have happened. And then I go Pyroflow on the Chariot, 4 dice, 1, 1, 1, 4. Fail. Oh, at least I get a Clouded Sight on the Veiled Serpent to not get random move, but yeah, That's very annoying. I hope more from that. It's a key phase at a key stage of the game. And I did nothing to the chariot. He dispelled a fireball, obviously. So a bit frustrating by that. It will not get better because the 2 cannon on 5-up don't hit, and I only kill 1 succubi with the crossbow. So I hope much more from my range damage. Like I said, I mean, +6 dice from the pyro is just crazy good. And in that case, yeah, that's just unfortunate, but it's a key moment in the game. And we had the opposite fortune in Magic until now. Let's see the rest. So he readjusts the positioning of his chariot to protect the right flank and create this situation 3 against 2. Sugulag start to push towards here. Readjust his battle line, waiting for turn 3 to start to activate stuff. Magic phase, he went with Touch of the Reaper on the cannon, roll Amnesia, so I let that go. And he had a high roll. I wanted to dispel. He had 4 dice left then for my Thunder Cannon against my 6, so I felt that should be fine. So for Soul Blight, so I let go Touch of the Reaper. He forgot the spell and killed the cannon. Okay, that's it. And then he went with a spear on the cannon, didn't wound me. And then Soul Blight, 4 dice against 6, go through my dice and do 4 wounds to my cannon. So, I mean, we have different magic phase. We have much different magic phase. I didn't do that much. Turn 2 I didn't do anything from damage, and here he just managed to kill 1 cannon, 4 wounds on the other one, so that's 6 wounds from cannon. Was very close to blow himself on the first turn, so I mean we have different different success with our magic phase until now, but that's part of the game definitely. Let's move on. My 3. Okay, I readjust the positioning of the Bruiser behind the lake to get some static and tempt him to charge me. Reposition myself. He can charge me here, I'm fine. If he doesn't, the chariot don't have any charge. If they fail charge, I could get them, so I try to create stuff. Left flank, I position myself on the point, and then yeah, let's do some more range damage. Magic phase, Cage of Ember on the chariot, do 1 wound. Fireball on the chariot, do another wound. So yeah, again, I mean, it's getting slow. So there is 1 chariot left under Cage of Ember, meaning he won't be able to be so active, so that's nice. I dispel Pyro Flow, I get, I think, a Clouded Sight on his general, forcing him to move forward. Cannon, do 1 wound to Sugulag, so this time I didn't move. Yeah, I was on 3+, 2+, having to reroll, and then ward save. I only rolled 2 wounds, segmented shell, so only 1 wound, so yeah, that was it for the cannon. Thanks for the game. His turn 3, he pushes Sugulag, he pushes the Myrmidon on the left, and basically you see that the consequences of the magic phase are quite huge, because what I wanted is basically this turn thinking, okay, if I can cripple enough the chariot, I think just kill 1 here on turn 2, then the Tusker, I think they can come for it, 6-inch, and accept here some charges with a counter of the Bruiser. I think that's okay. I mean, that's not too many attack. I can strike heavily on the Sukubai if he comes. Obviously he can buff himself, but he cannot kill the cannon, buff himself, do everything. So I can try to open up. Being with the Bruiser or being with the Tusker, I can try to come if I deal with the chariot. But here, not having done the damage didn't allow me basically to come for the right token, because he's too good actually. And on the charge, 2 chariot plus fiends, they just blow my Tusker, so I cannot come. So that's why it's 1-up on the primary, and I couldn't risk more on the right flank. So I didn't want to gamble on doing damage on the magic, since I didn't do anything the turn before. I didn't want to take risk that I wouldn't do enough and 2 chariots could charge me. So that's how we are. So I start to commit some pieces. Readjust on the right flank. He's happy, he's within 6 from the point. So that's going to be 1-up on the primary. He gets Soul Blight on the cannon, kills it. Random movement, dispel. Hereditary on the Mercvets, 2 dice against 2. Managed to do 2 wounds, but Hereditary on the Tusker doesn't wound. So at least that's that. My turn. I engage with the Tusker on the left, suffer 2 wounds on the DTs. I push my Bruiser to tempt him to charge, so he doesn't see me here with the Sukubai. And I'm thinking he can charge with the Chariot, but that's not sure that he breaks me. I still have Resolute, so 2 ranks banner, has only a charge. Maybe I can hold, and that could be dangerous for him. If he goes with the Fiends, I set up that as a counter charge. So we will see. My cannon is dead, obviously, and the left flank I start to activate. I prepare that if he charges me, there is no overrun, and I could counter charge potentially. The magic phase, I get Hereditary on my Tusker, Cage of Ember on his chariot, do a wound, and yeah, I'm feeling the left flank is a key moment. So I 5 dice, it's my turn to 5 dice, Dragon Roar, and I got Amnesia, Dragon Roar on my Tusker, and the close combat, this allows me basically to blow the Myrmidon, so that's nice. But I only get 1 point for Enslave and Ransom because I really one-shot them. He's turn 4, so he activates Sugulag, charge on 3 up in. The Fiends 3 up in also, okay, interesting. He pushes the other Fiends here, I think that's a mistake I did. Basically not covering that, but covering that way, so I don't see the Fiends here. They are out of line of sight, and I think that was easily avoidable for me. I was a bit, I wanted to cover as much as I can from the left, in case he would charge the Tusker, to get things, but yeah, I forgot that he could get to that spot, and I think I could have avoided that by placing the Frosty a bit better. So a bit disappointing here for me. Yeah, the rest shuffles a bit around. He didn't move the chariot because of the cage. Magic phase. He gets distracting on the Fiends, the 5 Fiends. I let that go. Didn't want to charge them alone with the Tribesman. He gets Whisper of the Veil on my Bruiser in the close combat. I let that go. They are, I think they are going to die no matter what. And then he didn't wound me on Hereditary. Random move Dispel, close combat. I do 8 wounds to my Bruiser. I do, I think, 1 back. I'm decimated. And the Sugulag, we do a tie, do some wounds. He has the mirror and stuff. But we draw this time the combat. My turn. So I'm debating a bit. My first ID, I will talk a bit about it. So yeah, I forgot to mention here, he needed a 10 to go out of line of sight. He rolled a 9, so I'm going to be able to catch him. So that's okay for me. Yeah, about the left flank. So first of all, I need to see how I can charge the flies. So I take this unit here in the front to chaff, and basically I can double charge here and reform, and he won't be able to see me. So I can take away the flies. Obviously, he take a second point for the scenario because he took out the Bruiser and went with the flies on the left. So that's 2 up for him. So I'm going to lose the primary. Not much I can do here. So basically, yeah, my IDs. First ID, move out with the mage and chaff with the Tribesman in front of the Fiends, but then I think I can put the Frost. He only wounds me on 6 up, and then I place my Tribesman as counter charge, and maybe instead of giving away a unit, I can maybe get him on the counter charge. So I try that. So let's go for that. Double charge automatic on the left, suffer some wounds on the DTs. Chaff the Sukubai, you see already the reform, he won't be able to contact me. The Chariot can do some charge, that's fine. What else? And I went also, yeah, with the Tusker. Maybe we can discuss the Tusker. I don't know if it was needed. Thinking about that now. Could have also repositioned my Tusker here in a position to counter. Because here I'm vulnerable to the Chariot. So I could have also repositioned my Tusker, I think a bit more central. Because the Mergvets alone against the flies, I think that's enough, probably. Wanted to make that safe, but that could have been also an option for me. And yeah, I charge the flank of the Cloakfiends with my Tusker. I suffer 3 wounds from the DT. So not good, but yeah, doesn't matter much. Get Rod of Battle on the Frost Mammoth, Hereditary on the Mergvets. Fireball on Sukubai, do 4 wounds. He dispelled the Pyro Flow. Crossbow, do 2 wounds on the Fiends. On the left, I one-shot the flies, so I get another point. And on the right, I get Enslave and Ransom this time because I do wounds and he just crumbled on the combat result. So I do my secondary. What I completely forgot about, and I don't know if you follow that, and maybe you saw that mistake. My mage, actually he needs to, his secondary is that my mage doesn't come here. And I think this turn with 6 and 6, it's definitely possible to come to that position. And on the last turn try to contest his secondary. So I completely lost track of his secondary. And basically, yeah, that's a bad mistake. I could have definitely done that better. So not too happy about that. Anyway, yeah, I talk about the combat. His turn. I double charge with Veil Serpent and Fiends against my Frosty. We will see how that goes. Charge with the Sukubai against the Chaff. And I attempt with the Chariot against my Tusker, but fail charge. So yeah, interesting. The Chariot failed charge on 3+, this time Swift, so that was unfortunate for my opponent. In a magic phase, he get distracting on the Miser, and as you saw last turn, got a bit of a drama for him, because this time I did 2 wounds and it's the same turn he fluffed. And he lost by 2 the combat, failed the check and lost another 2 wounds. So he has only 2 wounds left. Okay, I didn't expect that. I only expect to hold, but I was like, that's very interesting because we are on turn 5. He's 5, so we have still turn of combat to finish the miser, and if I get those points, that's huge. So yeah, that was a funny turn of event. Yeah, what else? In the magic phase, so I talked about, you get also random movement on the Sukubai, and I dispel Whisper of the Veil. What happened in the close combat? His miser suffered another wound, so he's still here, but one wound left. Sukubai, they destroy my Triceman. I think I fled, and that's the first mammoth. And unfortunately for me, I roll blue, he rolls red. You know what that means, so I roll low and he spikes. And basically, that means that the combat that I thought should be okay is not okay, actually. You see on average, he has a charge, a rank and a banner. I have a rank, so I lose by 2 on the static. And I should do 1 wound more than me, so that could be a 7 rollable on average. But in that case, I lose by 5. So instead of a 7 rollable, it's only a 3 rollable, which I'm going obviously to fail and get run down. So, oh, ouch. I think that was a bit too dicey. The safe choice would have been, I think, to position the Triceman in front of the Fiends, position as a counter charger with the Frosty. He can eat my Triceman, and then either he reform in front of me and I can charge him, or I can charge the Sugulag in the flank. So I think doesn't want that. So I think that would have been the best choice here, to play it safer. I went a bit too dicey and it backfired heavily for me. So yeah. And he also ran down my Triceman on the left. My turn 6, I charge into the Chariot. Yeah, he overrun into that. And that's it. That's the end of the game for my Tusker on the right. Magic phase. Get Cage of Ember on the Sukubai, kill 3. Pyro Flow, Sukubai Dispel, Rod of Battle, Dispel on my big block. Hereditary, I didn't do the last wound last turn, by the way. Yeah, no, I did a wound and there is still 1 left. So Hereditary on my big unit against the Sugulag. So I have 2 turns of combat to try to kill him. Obviously that's why he took out the Rod of Battle. Close combat, I kill the Chariot and I turn around because I did enough with the magic. I think I also got Fireball. So I did some good damage and he won't be able to really charge me in the front with DT, Cage of Ember, I don't believe it. Sukubai, I do nothing and I reform, I kill those guys. He's turn 6. What else happens? I think, yeah, maybe I fled and he had to charge me, but he couldn't charge those guys. I was able to reform out of line of sight no matter what. He moved those guys within 9, obviously. Those guys just move around and he suffers this time 4 wounds from the cage. So he's basically giving me half point from the Sukubai, thank you. And we will see what happened with the Sugulag. I think that's the last never thing for him. So Magic Face, I have a choice to make. He has 2 buffs, Whisper of the Veil or the Distracting, basically, Chorus of the Damned. And I'm thinking it's very unlikely that I do the wound myself. But Whisper of the Veil augments his chance of my mirror doing something to myself. And also his attack doing something. So I dispel Whisper of the Veil with my 5 against his 3 and he gets Distracting on this Sugulag. Unfortunately I won't do anything and he will do exactly 3 wounds, which is a draw, so that's enough for Sugulag to survive on 1 wound, and that's the end of the game. Ended up being a 9-11, so I took more points, but he got the primary obviously. We both did our secondary objective, and that's 9-11. So congrats to Lucas for the small win. Post-game analysis, yeah, I think my game plan was quite good, was quite okay. The downside, I knew that the downside of starting was going to make things harder for me on the primary. So I knew that, but I still think it was worth it for me to start. The early game, it's quite huge. The difference in the range damage obviously make a... You saw, I mean, between my magic not doing much, 2-3 turn, his magic doing very well, his Sugulag just barely not blowing himself, and the cannon not doing much. It was those a bit turn of event, that's a bit of volatility around the matchup. Because if, for example, the Chariot goes out or goes a bit, suffer a bit more wounds, or the Sugulag blow himself, or the cannon do a bit more, that could change the turn of event afterwards. So that was good work from DL Magic early on and not so good from mine. I compensate later on, but still some damage here has been done. Yeah, turn 3, it took the advantage on the primary, especially due to the Chariot situation on the right, but I talked about that. The Tusker did a great job on the flank. Sugulag was close to die. That was very unfortunate for Lucas. I think shouldn't do much to his guy. I didn't expect anything from that combat. But that was an unlucky turn, and after that he was sweating each turn of combat, but luckily he didn't die. That would have been a bit harsh for him to die like that against a block of Tribesmen strength 4 and BSB strength 5. Turn 5 Ogre. Didn't expect the Frost Mammoth to break, but we saw the stat. That's a bit dicey. I'm still on average not winning but losing by 1, so it's a bit shaky. I think the right choice here is to chaff with the Tribesman. Frost Mammoth has a counter charge. He has no chaff available to chaff really my Frost Mammoth, meaning I will have a clean charge with the Frost Mammoth against his Fiends. And Frost Mammoth on the charge against the Fiends, that could go and should go well. And that could be enough to take them, or at least take some points. And then he has to counter charge, but I think that would have been way better. And secondary, yeah, I forgot about that. I could have stopped his secondary with a better move of the mage. The only risk is him casting Hereditary on my mage 2 times, but I can dispel it 1 time, and his Sugulag is in combat, cannot blast me. So I just lost track of it. I think that was the right move to try to contest it. So that's a point, that's the draw that I lost here. And yeah, in the list, I think the amount of resources I was able to basically compete with him to have an interesting battle due to the fact that I had also a lot of resources on the table. So that was quite interesting and quite eventful eventful game, tactical and quite interesting. And as always, I mean, there are some events happening in the game that turn the game more in balance in one direction or the other. So that was, as always, quite interesting to follow. Okay, guys, that's all for this battle. Yeah, that's it for this tournament. We will see what my teammate do. I don't know the rest of the result. There is only 2 games played the moment I record this video, so I don't know at all what will happen. But looking forward to that. What can I say is already to Erken thanks to them for the organization of the tournament, has been really amazing. I really liked the first stage with the 5 games, and then the final stage knockout was very interesting to play and to follow. And also a team like us, we weren't so close to them, but now we can play a final against them. It's a knockout, so we start from 0. That's very interesting, and also with the change of the list was quite cool. So yeah, really enjoyed this tournament. Thanks to them for the organization. Guys, thanks a lot for watching the battle report, and talk to you soon on the channel. Goodbye.